And after a week of his crusty socks and his laziness, that was the final straw. I snapped. I spun around and threw a full-on cinematic haymaker. I'm talking a total lunging fist towards his face. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Warren Kibbles video. Today, I'm going to tell a story about possibly the worst kid who went to my summer camp. Imagine a human being with the insults of a third grader, the work ethic of a sloth, and the hygiene of a dumpster. For 1 week at summer camp, this kid made it his life's mission to basically harass me. Right up until the moment I decided to throw a haymaker that technically never landed, but still managed to make him cry. Let's get into it. So, this story takes place at a summer camp I went to a few years back. We're going to call the antagonist of this story here Thomas. Now, Thomas was one of those kids that literally nobody liked. And I don't mean he was some shy, picked on loner. No. Everybody hated this kid because he was a total pain to be around. He was constantly trying to put people down for no reason. It's one thing to like trash talk your friends or try to rage bait somebody, but this kid wasn't nice to anyone long enough to actually even make a friend. He would just kind of sulk around groups, listening to their conversations and try to one-up everything that they said. If you talked about a hobby that you liked, he'd just stand there like a gargoyle and go, "Meh, that's stupid." If there was a group activity, he'd just refuse to help. He was a professional buzzkill. On top of his personality, nobody wanted to room with him because the kid had zero respect for human boundaries. My friend was stuck as his bunkmate for the first year, and he used to tell me absolute horror stories. He'd have to yell at Thomas daily just to pick up his dirty laundry. One morning, my friend literally woke up to find a single crusty Thomas sock sitting directly on his chest. Just why? Nobody wanted to touch Thomas's biohazard footwear, let alone wake up to it. That's disgusting. For some reason, out of everybody at the camp, Thomas decided I was his primary target. Now, I'm a pretty level-headed guy, but this kid tested my soul every single day. Every morning at breakfast, we'd walk down this long hill from the campsite, and he'd walk right behind me, and he'd just say stupid stuff. Like, he'd just try and trash talk me, but he wasn't even good at it. It was like third grade level insults. "You look stupid," or "Your mom's fat." Just absolutely zero effort. None of that really got to me because the insults weren't even good, but the thing that did get to me was his sheer laziness. We had to do like community service projects that week, which involved manual labor. And while the rest of us were actually working, this Thomas kid would sit on the sidelines like a supervisor, calling us stupid poopy heads for working hard. On the second to last day of this summer camp, we were raking and clearing brush, and Thomas didn't touch a single tool. He just sat there smugly telling us, "I'm so smart that I don't have to work. If I sit here while you guys do it, the job still gets done and I don't have to help. You guys are idiots." And at that point, I basically had to hold myself back from swinging a rake at him. After we finished the work and washed up, we were walking down the same hill towards dinner. And this same hill that he always taunts me on. And I was already at my limit. Sure enough, Thomas gets right behind me and starts insulting the way I walk. "Why do you walk like that? You walk so weird. Stop walking like an idiot." Then he starts doing the one thing that no human should ever do. He starts stepping on the back of my heels, so like your foot like comes out of your shoe. He stop stepping on the back of my shoes, making my heel pop out. And after a week of his crusty socks and his laziness, that was the final straw. I snapped. I spun around and threw a full-on cinematic haymaker. I'm talking a total lunging fist towards his face. But here's the thing. Thomas is such an absolute coward that the second I turned around, he got so scared, he literally fell over. So he hits the dirt, and before my fist even got close, my punch missed by like a mile because he was already on the ground. But he starts crying anyway, and he looks up at me, just crying, goes, "Wah, you hit me." And I just look down at him like he's an idiot because he is. He's this little coward, freaking fell down on his butt in the dirt on this hill as we're walking to dinner because I turned around quickly. And I just looked down at him and I said, "No, I didn't hit you, but I really wish I did." And I turned around and I just walked the rest of the way to dinner. And let's just say I felt pretty cool after that one. And that dinner ended up tasting pretty good. Probably one of the most triumphant nights that I had had at that summer camp. Oh, now I'm just imagining it again. I'm reminiscing about making Thomas cry. But anyways, if you think Thomas got what he deserved, leave a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment down below. Let me know if anything like this ever happened to you. You ever get in a fight and the guy didn't hit back? That's always the best. But anyway, hope you all have a great night, day, afternoon, whatever it is for you. But anyways, thanks for watching.